All right, thanks a lot for joining me here on 3-Minute Knives, where we go over the ins and outs of a particular knife in 3 minutes or less. But today I'm going to go over that once again. I've been doing that a lot lately, sorry about that. But this is a pretty cool knife that I'm excited about. I've looked at these for a long while, and if you're familiar with Hoback knives, you're also probably familiar with, there's been a little bit of controversy over the last, I'd say 6 months to a year. I'm not going to get into all that. You can look it up and see that for yourself, but I'm just going to talk about this knife in particular. Hoback Knives Husky. This is the Husky, and it's definitely husky. It's big. If you're not into over 9-inch knives that weigh over 10 ounces, then you might as well not watch the rest of this. But if you like really cool, big monster knives, then keep watching. So let's go over the specs. Overall length, 9.25 inches. Blade length, 3.75 inches. Cutting edge, 3.62 inches normally. But I have enlarged the finger choil here. So we probably got about a 3.52 inch cutting edge there. I like having a big finger choil, and this is a keeper for me, so I've done a couple little things on here which I'll go over briefly here in just a minute. 1.25 inches wide, 1/4 inch thick, 1/4 inch blade stock here. Nitro V. I really like Nitro V. Look it up. I'll talk a little bit about it here, but you can look up Nitro V and see that it is a great steel. This is a flat grind, stone washed, plain edge, kind of a Tonto-ish, kind of a rounded Tonto here, which I dig. Handle length 5.5 inches, 1.25 inches wide, 0.75 inches thick, because 1/4 inch blade stock, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Now the backspacer here is a little bit thicker, so I think it's probably more like 0.80 inches thick, which I like it. I like having a nice big, I have long fingers. If you have short, stubby fingers, this is definitely not the knife for you, but I have long fingers, so I like having that extra thickness there. 11.7 ounces for the TI version. They have a Micarta version, which is 9.6 ounces. That's a little more manageable for some people. I do not mind this one. This one actually carries pretty well. I'm surprised. I don't mind carrying a bigger knife. Now, if you're wearing jogging pants or jogging shorts, you're definitely going to feel this. It's going to swing around a bit, but for jeans, cargo pants, things like that, I don't have a problem with this at all. T8 screws all the way around. I like that. Yeah, so this one, I've been looking at these for a long time, but I was kind of having a hard time justifying the price, which I still don't think retail prices should be where it's at on this, especially with the controversy that has taken place over the last year. These retail for like $650-ish in that neighborhood. I did not pay that much. This is a second-hand knife to me. So I paid a considerable amount less than that, which I would suggest you do the same. So a couple things that I didn't care for with this. Number one, I wanted the larger finger choil, which I did. Number two, the lock bar. I hate it, especially if you're paying over $100 for a knife. I hate it when you have a sharp lock bar. This one had a sharp lock bar. So all I did was grind down at an angle the inside edge here. Much better now. So much better now. Before, if you open and close this 5, 6, 7 times, it would start biting into your thumb. Now it's perfect. Why couldn't they do that from the factory? I don't get that. Another thing that I did not care for, the jimping up top here was very aggressive, and I did not care for. So when you flicked it open, if you were not just right up here on top, if you were down here and you flicked it and your finger rubbed on that jimping, it would hurt. It would actually hurt. So I grinded those down a little bit. Now I'm going to have this whole thing Cerakoted in a theme which if you've watched any of my other videos, you've seen that I've done that to quite a few other knives. So this one, like here, when I was enlarging the choil here, I kind of slipped and put a couple of marks on the blade here, and then I don't know if you can see the shininess of the inside edge here, and then also on the jimping up here. But all that will be covered up with the Cerakote, so I'm not worried about that. I like the overall profile of the blade more now. It kind of goes with, let me get this out of here. I think that's messing with the focusing. It kind of goes with, you'll see the choils there. So I dig that. I think it looks better. I like the fact that I can choke up now. I wish they would have not made this so aggressive up there. With gloves on, it's fine, but just fingers, yeah, that was really aggressive. And I wish that had been angled off to begin with, which is not a big deal. One of the cool things that Hoback does is they use a HRD, which is the Hoback Roller Detent. Now what that is, you can see in this little hole right here, they have a detent that you can remove and you can adjust. So you can make it stronger, you can make it weaker, and I think that is really cool. HRD, the Hoback Roller Detent. So it takes a little Allen wrench, which they include. Nice little touch, and you can, like I said, you can just tighten it up, you can loosen it up, and it works great. Nice little touch there. Pocket clip, it's okay. I would have liked a deep carry pocket clip, and you can buy deep carry on their website now. It's like 45 bucks, I think, and you might be able to find some other deep carry that would fit that screw set. Nice lanyard hole. Love the backspacer on here. It's very, I mean, it's, the tolerances on the backspacer are so tight, it doesn't even feel like there's any gap there at all. Very nicely done. Love the milling out here. Just gives you a little bit of grip. Yeah, this is just, it's a great knife. The price sucks retail, so I wouldn't get them retail. I'd get them secondhand, which you see them quite often. Other than that, and the little modifications I've done, and you might not even need to make these modifications. Maybe you don't mind a little aggressive jimping. Maybe you don't mind, you know, the lock bar digging into your thumb. And maybe you don't want a bigger choil. So for some, it might be perfect as is. But if not, those are a couple little things you can do. I dig it now. Like I said, this is a keeper. This one will stay in my collection. The Jake Hoback Husky. If you're wondering about the controversy, just look it up. Easy to find. But he does make some great knives. He does design some great knives. I will say that. This is the Hoback Husky. I dig it. Thanks a lot.